sharing food is something really, really important. Even in our religion, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam really encouraged us to eat food together, to share food together. There is a great blessing in communal eating, in sharing from a plate. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved everybody to share food from one plate. And we have a whole range of etiquettes and manners in Islam around eating food. Even eating food with your fingers, one of the things we do when we eat with knives and forks is that we separate ourselves even more from the food. When you eat with your fingers, it's adding a whole extra dimension of taste, that not only are you tasting it with your mouth, you're feeling it, you're having this connection with the food. So the whole environment in which we eat, sharing especially as a family, that idea of sitting down for a family dinner, unfortunately, is something that has become really, really lost. You know, my mum was always very strict about that. We never had such things as TV dinners, and if there was some movie on that we really, really wanted to watch, we'd literally have to beg our mum to let us delay the dinner so that we could watch the movie. But sitting there with plates in front of the TV was just a no-no. And if you think about it, it's a type of disrespect. It's a disrespect to the food. It's a disrespect to the person who's cooked the food. And that time when you're all eating is a really, really good opportunity for everybody to sit down, to discuss about what they've been doing in the day, and just to talk about things and spend some time as a family doing something that's really, really essential for human survival. I think a little bit the fact that food is so available these days. I mean, there was a time you really need to think, everybody really needs to think that there was a time when more than half a human being's life was dedicated to growing, acquiring, processing food. That's what the human being's life was about. We were connected to the earth, connected to the environment in a very, very profound and deep and practical way. But today it's just, we just nip down to the supermarket, we grab this, we grab that. We don't even know what's in it. Some people don't even know where milk comes from. They think milk comes from a bottle. They've never seen, I know that kids come to the part of the world where I live, they come to Shropshire, and you know, oh, there's a sheep. It's like, it's the first time they've actually seen a sheep on a hill live. But yet, this is something they're eating probably, possibly every day. So we've lost this connection. There's a disconnect between ourselves, the sources of our food, acquiring that food. So when something becomes easy, it's a very a normal trait in human beings that we stop appreciating it. And there's an amazing statement from Aisha, and we should think about this, brothers and sisters, that the Messenger of Allah and his wives and his family spent a lot of time hungry. In fact, there was a time when Aisha said that they were so short on food and food was lacking so much that even the skin of the date stone, on the date stone there is a skin, and they would, suck that date stone to get that skin, and they would appreciate even the kintar, the skin on the stone of the date. And again, brothers and sisters, that environment in which the Prophet and his companions and Aisha were in at that time, may Allah be pleased with the companions, and may Allah bless the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it forced them to appreciate food. But we should be like that anyway. We should be mindful about how we eat. And I think sitting down, eating together, sharing food together is something we've lost, and it's something we need to get back to. Okay, so alhamdulillah, today we're going to be doing Annie Weiss's roast chicken in mustard sauce. Now, I've never actually cooked this before, like quite a few of these dishes, so it's going to be interesting. It's dead easy. People talk about English food, they even call us roast beef, and that's a favorite thing for the English, roast dinner. But roast dinners are one of the tastiest foods you can have, and they're actually one of the easiest things to cook, both at the same time. And this is so easy, it's actually ridiculous. It's funny we're even making a program about it. But first thing, it says 1 Danish chicken. I have no idea what a Danish chicken is, and I don't know if that's what the sort of chickens they got in Kenya when my mum was there, Danish chickens, but I'm sure she'll have a story to tell us about what's a Danish chicken. But I got some Portuguese chickens here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Is it halal, isn't it? So I've got some chickens here. Now it does say wash the chickens, but generally, from what I understand, is that we are advised at the moment not to wash chicken. You shouldn't wash chicken. And the reason is that chicken has bacteria. If you wash it, it goes down the drain. That bacteria builds up resistance, and it becomes harder and harder to deal with issues surrounding that bacteria. So you're going to cook it. It's going to kill the bacteria. Sometimes we get a bit over obsessed about washing stuff, especially if it's going to be in the oven for a long time. There's really no need to wash it, and especially a lot of chickens come prepared and washed anyway. So these are absolutely fine. They're out of the packet. Here they are, ready to go. So we need a tablespoon of cream, half a pound of butter, which is about 230 grams of butter. So that's a lot of butter. And tarragon or rosemary and thyme. Now I'm going to use tarragon and rosemary and thyme. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the butter, we're going to get the herbs, and we're going to put the butter and the herbs inside the chicken. Now, looking at the amount of butter, I don't even know if we can fit that much butter inside the chicken. So we might have to halve it and just hope for the best, inshallah. But the beautiful thing about my mum's house here in Portugal is she has some fresh herbs growing in the garden. As one young man was saying, oh, we have to go down to Salisbury to get that stuff, and it's just right here in the garden. So we're going to go and get some rosemary, and we're going to go and find some thyme. So it's a little bit of a walk away over the lawn into the herb patch to get the rosemary. I think this is bay leaf. So, actually there's not many herbs in the herb garden. So here we have a beautiful rosemary bush. Oh, that smells so nice. Now generally we don't really want the flowers, so we'll take some nice, freshest looking ones we can find. Heads of rosemary. This looks fantastic. Rosemary is very strong, so you don't really need a huge amount of it, otherwise it'll overpower everything. I think that's enough. We're going to have 2 to 3 sprigs per chicken, and that's it. That's the rosemary. So back we go. We've got to get the thyme as well. So there's our rosemary, and the thyme fortunately is a little bit closer. It's just right here, and I'm not used to cooking with this. Oh, that smells amazing. That smells amazing. This actually it smells so good, I want to stuff it full of it. So hopefully that will do. I don't really know how much we need. So this stuff, this thyme, grows all the coast. If you go down to the coast here in the Algarve, at least where near where my mum lives, all the way down the coast, you go down the coast, absolutely full of thyme bushes. Just amazing. You can just go and pinch it. Oh, the smell. It smells almost lemony, fantastic. Oh, looking forward to this. And here we have some tarragon. So I don't even know what to do with this, but I'm going to split it in half. Tarragon, again, I just love tarragon. It smells sweet and oh my gosh. Oh wow. That is just absolutely awesome. So here are my herbs. I don't even know how to describe tarragon. Sort of, I don't know. It smells great. So okay, here we go. I don't think I can follow this recipe to the T. That is a huge amount of butter. So I'm going to halve it, and this piece of butter is going to go right inside the chicken. And I'm just going to put the herbs. I'm going to put the herbs. Well, I'll show you what I do with my chickens. I have a little trick. A lot of the time, when people roast chicken, I'll turn the other round so you can see me stuffing it in. A lot of the time when people roast chicken, they just roast it with the top side up. But the way I do it is I actually like to turn the chicken over like this. So the bottom side, where all the skin is roasted, I love that crispy. I love the skin when it's roasted and crispy, and it's absolutely delicious. And right here are two little slithers of flesh, which is really the best bit of the whole chicken. This is what my mum taught me. This is really a delicacy. These little slithers of chicken, no one knows about them. Well, you all know about it now. But when you get a roast chicken, that's the bit you want to get for. Yeah, I'll have the carcass. You know, you keep the rest, and you just pick and then you get these beautifully tender, beautifully tasty little fillets, titchy little fillets. So, okay, I'm going to show you here. So we've got the opening of the chicken. I mean, nearly every chicken's going to be open for you. We're just going to put the butter in there. It's a huge amount of butter. Probably very politically incorrect to have butter like that. And I'm just going to stuff the, oh, they smell so good, those herbs. Stuff some in on the top, most of it on the top. And the reason I'm doing that, as I said, because I'm going to flip the chicken over, and then I hope the butter's going to melt and those herbs are going to carry all the way through. I hope I've done this right. I don't know. Did I mess everything up? But we'll see. And there's the rosemary, tarragon, thyme. In you go. There we go. Okay, so the cream we pour on afterwards, so that's fine. We're going to pour on the cream afterwards to get the sauce. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. Now we have the French moutarde français, delicious French mustard. Here it is. Okay, we're supposed to have. Oh, I love mustard. Oh, it's supposed to be strong French mustard. This is actually Dijon mustard. The other type of French mustard, the more well-known, well, I don't know, but it has little bits of seeds in it. I didn't get that one. I've got the Dijon mustard, which is actually not the strong one. And all I'm going to do, very simple, I'm just going to spread it on the chicken everywhere. Spread it there. It's just going to go on the chicken. And we're just going to spread it. You know what? I'm probably going to end up using my hands to do this properly. Yeah. Just spread it on. Massage it in, you know. Give that chicken a massage. Massage it in. Mum, we're filming. We're filming, Mums. Mum, we're filming. Are you filming? Yeah. In you go. Oh yes. Just relax, chicken, just relax. Get all nice and tender. There you go. Oh. Okay, so our mustard, French mustard covered chicken. I've got a feeling this is going to be absolutely delicious. Let's put some more. Let's just pile it on. So I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to put this thing in the oven.
Okay, one non-alcoholic
Okay.
gin.
So put this down here. So and in it goes into the oven, and that's that's it. And after a little bit, I'm going to turn the chickens over to do the other side, and then flip it and baste it and keep an eye on it. So the key, roast potatoes are without doubt, in my opinion, one of the most delicious ways of eating a potato. One essential piece of equipment in your kitchen is a potato peeler. If you're making your own chips, you're making your own roast potatoes, you need a good potato peeler. This one actually is my mum's, is working really well. I have a lovely one at home that has a sort of nice rubber handle, but I don't love peeling potatoes, and I usually recruit. I have one designated kid who helps me out. Yasmin, my daughter, she's the designated potato peeler, even when she has coursework. Poor little thing. So, but you know, alhamdulillah. So this looks a bit green, this potato, but this is fine. It'll work. You can see I'm a bit of an expert at peeling potatoes. So you're going to use this bit here, so you're gripping that. So here you're going to push with that. You're going to, yeah, and you use your thumb to sort of thing, and then that's it. So the key is the pressure, the angle. What can I say? It's just one of those things, you practice it, and the more you practice it, the better you get at it, like slicing onions and stuff like that. So we at home put away a vast quantities of roast potatoes. I mean, I probably estimate maybe at least 3 potatoes per person. And even if they don't get eaten, it doesn't matter. You can heat them up. I mean, a roast dinner for us is not just a roast dinner. It will last a couple of meals because it'll get heated up and everything like that. And it's fine. Okay, it's not as delicious as the first time, but still, it's great, lovely. Yeah, so couple of potatoes at least per person. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, you want your potatoes to be more or less even, but I'm doing something a little bit special here. These are not normal roast potatoes. My mum has tried this before, and to be honest, wasn't that impressed with it, but I think it's lovely. So these are more like wedges a little bit, as you'll see. So you see how I'm cutting it like that, like this, and then like that. I think that's actually going to be enough, because I want to leave some room for those sweet potatoes as well. And you don't want your pan to be too overcrowded, because they have to cook. So yeah, that really is enough. So for who we got today, this is my sweet potato. I'm not going to bother peeling it. For me, the skin is, one of the best bits really of any vegetable. So we're going to follow the same sort of procedure. Now, sweet potatoes tend to cook a lot better and a lot quicker than potatoes. So I'm making it slightly bigger. I'm hoping that the cooking time will then be about the same. So this is a bit chunkier and these are a bit thinner, but hopefully it'll come out just about right. Yeah, let's put some more sweet potato because I am feeling pretty hungry today. I think that's about right. That's maybe a bit big. Yeah, there we go. And I think between all of us here today, I'll put it all in. Why not? Chuck it in, that's what I say. We'll find a way, hopefully. There we go. So not really enough room, but that's fine, that's fine. So there we go, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and sort of wedges, big wedges. And we're going to be roasting those in the oven. All we need to do is add the fat. Okay, so the chicken is really looking done now. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I don't know what we have done to deserve stuff like this. May Allah forgive us. That just looks absolutely delish. Delish. What? Okay, so here we go. So okay, so here's our chicken now. We're going to turn it back over again. This is you already heard about my technique. So hopefully everything, this is where you sometimes have to be a little bit careful. The chicken has been in there probably now for getting on towards an hour, and it's tender. It could be pretty much just about cooked, and this is where the whole thing can just like fall apart. But no, it's holding together, which is great news, great news. Look at that. And I didn't truss it up, but those wings, look at those wings. They might even be a little bit overcooked. These legs, the reason you tie it is so all of this gets cooked, but because I flipped it over, you can see here that's cooked. So it's worked really well. It works for me. All this tying a chicken up like some, I don't know, Guantanamo Bay chicken or something. Alhamdulillah, you don't have to do that. Now that's sad. The skin unfortunately is ripped. That's a bit sad. Here, this one is intact. The skin's ripped, so you're not going to get that lovely crispy skin. And also what it means is that that breast might dry out a bit. So that's a shame, but it should be okay. And the other thing is all of this as well has been soaking in butter all of this time, which is fantastic. So this is really going to be ready within 20 minutes from now. So what I'm going to do is actually take a lot of this butter out. We don't really need it. And as I mentioned previously, you should keep this butter and chicken fat for cooking. It's great for frying, if you're going to make roast potatoes, all sorts of things. You just reuse it. Don't throw it away. Why? It's perfectly good, perfectly usable. You can even use it again next time you make some roast chicken. And you don't even need to do much with it. Just put it in a container and cover it. It takes ages to go off. So use it and reuse it. Don't waste. I just need to find a container for that. Okay. One that my mum won't tell me off for using, hopefully. Okay, so here we go. Let's see, I think we'll use this corner here. In it goes. Don't drip everywhere. Ooh. crispy skin on the bottom. Oh my God, this looks so good. That smells, you can't smell it on TV. It's such a shame we don't have smellity. Well, maybe it's not, maybe it's a good thing, but it smells so delicious. So back in the oven. Try not to trip over the bin and kill yourself. Back it goes. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And really just another 20 minutes in there, it's going to be absolutely fine. Okay, so the chicken is ready. Oh, bubble, bubble. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. And maybe a little bit overcooked, but I'll be honest, I love it like that. I love it crispy, just not quite burnt. That's just the way I like it. What can I say? And so I'm putting this on a gentle heat here, and I'm going to move the chicken to the carving board. Now what I've done here is I've put this dish, the serving dish, I've put hot water in it, not too hot, just so it's warm. You don't want your chicken going into the cold dish, getting all cold. Let me turn that down. So what I'm going to do is carve this chicken up. Here, I reckon this knife will be wonderful. And there we go. I'm actually gonna and there's all those herbs in there. So that's one. That's two. That's three. Don't think we want the herbs in there, to be honest. Delicious as they are. Probably keep them separately. Okay, that will do. And this one as well. Now, what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of water on this. Because we're going to be making a sauce with this. And we're going to use this gravy here. This really is just, what can I say? For me, perfect. The skin there is all crispy and done. This is how I like. I've never cooked this before, so this is quite exciting for me. And I just hope that it's as delicious as it looks. So there we go. That's fine, we'll leave those herbs there. Bismillah. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so delicious. Oh my God. Right. That's what we're going to do here. A little bit more water. I'm sort of, to be honest, making this up as I go along. This is really how I'd make a roast dinner, and I make the gravy, and I don't use the artificial stuff. This is what I do, and the nice thing is it cleans the pan. Get all these delicious, delicious burnt bits. I just love them. There we go. And I think that's it. We've got that stuff off. That's all that flavour that's been cooking away. Let's get it off the sides here. You all right? Okay. So I think that's it. Take that off the heat now. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of that mustard. Mix it in. That's not part of the recipe, but I'm a bit of a rebel when it comes to these things. And now I'm going to add the cream. Oh yeah. We get a clean spoon. Put that back on the heat to gently heat it up. You don't want to I think that's it. Yeah. Just warm that up. Just want it to be nice and warm. And tastes like gravy. You know, I am making the gravy when the kids are still, you know, they've carved up their chicken, they're sitting there, it's on the plate. Where's the gravy? And it's always the last thing that I do. There's always a bit of a panic. I just don't want it to boil too much. Just heat it up. You can see it steaming slightly there. And that, I really think that's it. I think that's it. Oh my God. It tastes so good. I can't tell you. I'm not really sure I want to do this. I'm not going to do that because I like my roast chicken crispy, and I like to pour my gravy over my roast chicken. So I think I need it in a separate tray. I don't. Well, let's just follow the recipe. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Oh yeah. That just looks good. And get the old spatula there. You don't see this on the cooking programs normally, but you know what? I don't like this waste, and I don't know why anyone would just leave all that delicious stuff. Let's wash it off. No. Blessings. Barakah. Where's the barakah? We don't know where the barakah is. Maybe in this little bit here. I don't know. I should probably give it to the dogs to lick. That's what my mum does. Then I have to wash everything 7 times with earth. And to be honest, I don't really let her see that. Because what are you doing, Aunt? She'd be saying stuff like that. And it's like, how do I explain I need to wash stuff with earth? And don't be silly, she'd say. And we'd have an argument, so I'll just do it quietly. Okay. That, guys, I don't even care what my mum says. It's absolutely flipping delicious. MashaAllah tabarakallah. Oh God. Callie. So we got some leftover fat here from a roast we're doing, and I'm just going to pour that over the potatoes, sweet potatoes. Yeah, that's a lot. It's going to be good though. And what I do is I just mix it around, coat them, so get them all coated. So, yeah. I mean, some people swear by different things like goose fat, and obviously, you know, lard is haram, can't use that. But it's not even really considered to be the best thing. Goose fat is, people swear by it, but really butter's fine. Olive oil works great for me, that's what I use all the time. Even ghee you can use, which I think is probably actually better for you than butter. If you use those refined oils, which I avoid, you know, you can use that, it's no problem. Or just that leftover fat that I was talking about. This is a mixture of butter. This is a mixture of butter and chicken fat from roast chicken. So we're going to put this in the oven, and inshallah, hopefully about after half an hour, it's going to be ready to eat. Okay, so I've preset the oven to about 220. That's more than enough. Fan assisted oven, that's more than enough. So the oven still probably needs to heat up a bit. That's fine. So I'm going to put the roast potatoes in. And we're going to leave them in there for about half an hour to 40 minutes. And we'll come back and turn them over at least once or twice before they're ready. And then we're going to finish with a final little special touch just to make it something really special, but we'll wait for the end to do that. So our roast potatoes are pretty much ready. Not ready, they're going to need another 10 minutes. So now's the time. What I'm going to do is just turn them over one more time. Now, in order to do that, sometimes the potatoes get stuck. So this is the advantage of not having it too crowded. This is actually too crowded. If you have a nice big tray, then that's better. So I'm going to flick this guy's out of the way, he's all right. If I get right underneath, then you still get the crispy bit attached to the potato. If not, it comes off, sticks to the pan, and it's all right, it's not a disaster, but you want that potato to be crispy. That's what you want. And that is looking really good. Let's get this guy back inside. And I've never done this with sweet potatoes before, so it's going to be interesting. So sweet potatoes with sweet honey on. So what we're going to do now is get a bit of honey, delicious natural Portuguese honey, and we're going to just drizzle it. Oh yes, there we go. Let's get that. Look at that. That's the way to do it. Drizzle on. Oh, I'm looking forward to eating this. Oh, there you go. This really, you know, the honey, the honey is really there just to Bismillah. This is a miracle, this stuff. The honey is there just to stick the sesame seeds. So here we have some sesame seeds, and on they go. That's it. So and back in the oven it goes for a final 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to toast them and crisp those potatoes. Get that heat up. And after 5 minutes, it's going to be ready, inshallah. Okay, so they are ready. Those roast potatoes are ready. Those sesame seeds, they are browned. That's it, it's done. There we go. So we're going to put it here and just turn it over one more time. Using our turn over. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Allah's bounties are. You know what? MashaAllah, making this program has made me appreciate and think about food more and more. And it's a privilege to be able to share this stuff with you guys. Look at that. Look at this bounty of Allah. It's very simple, easy to cook, and really delicious. And I'm going to go against my normal diet and try the potato bit. It's going to be hot though. Let me grab a few of the. Hellfire is hotter. Bismillah. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alhamdulillah. Cauliflower is super delicious and amazingly nutritious, like all vegetables. Really good for you. I love cauliflower. It's very versatile, a lot more versatile than you think. One of the things you can do with cauliflower is you can make cauliflower rice, cauliflower couscous out of it. Very healthy alternative to couscous, especially if you like me, keeping away from grains and wheat. But what I'm doing today is what's called cauliflower breadcrumbs. Now, normally I would avoid the breadcrumbs and I would use ground almonds instead. But because I'm in my mum's house and cooking my mum's recipes, I'm going to be sticking to more or less her way of doing things. When I say more or less, I'm going to give this a little few tweaks and see if she notices. So very simple. This is so simple, and generally my mum serves this as an accompaniment to different things, mostly roast dinner, but other things as well. So all we're going to do is chop these little green bits on, and what we're going to do is chop the green bits off. I mean, not chop them on. I don't know how you chop something on exactly. So we just take them off like that, and carefully remove this core here. Don't stab yourself or anything. There we go. Out it comes, and get those bits. We don't want those. So the key to this is you want the whole head of cauliflower. So it's going to go in a pan. It's that simple. Goes in the pan, and we're going to fill the pan up with water. Cover the cauliflower That's it. And we're gonna put some salt, just ordinary table salt. There we go. And then that's gonna go on the hob. Get this heated up, nice and quick, high heat. I like my veg almost raw. I mean, I actually like it raw. Cauliflower is delicious raw. You can use it to dip in hummus and baba ganoush and what's that other, guacamole, anything like that. It's great dipping in stuff. And even when I cook my vegetables, I like it raw. My mum tends to, I don't want to say overcook it, but she tends to cook it well. So it's soft. But I don't like my veg like that. I like it very, very crunchy. So I'm probably going to try something in between. I'm going to try and aim for something that I like, but within my mum's acceptable parameters. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what her comments are going to be. So we're going to put a lid on this as well. So let's see if we can find the right lid. Oh my God, first time, alhamdulillah, mashallah. So yeah, that's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the breadcrumbs. So we're going to now make the breadcrumbs. So what I've got here is some burger buns, leftover burger buns, which I've put in the oven to dry out a bit. You don't need to do that really. If you've got some bread that's a little bit, not stale as in moldy stale, but dry, then you can just use it straight. And once you've made the once you've made the breadcrumbs, they actually keep for quite a long time. You just put them in an airtight container and just use them. So we're not advertising any products here. This looks wet. I don't want a wet container. I don't know why it's wet or how it's wet. So here. This is where something like a hand blender whisk thing comes in really useful. I think that's a really amazing kitchen tool. I have one at home and it's just my go-to tool for everything. And you can get them anything from 20 quid to 100 quid, depending how much you want to pay. So I'm just going to break this up. And the problem with this little device that my mum has, fine for her, she's here on her own most of the time, and she's never really cooking for more than a couple of people. This really just, you have to do everything twice. So fine. That's pretty good. So that's one load of breadcrumbs. Get something to put them in. That'll do. Sorry about all the noise there, guys. Now I don't really know. My mum's never really. I've probably made this thing a couple of times at my mum's. I've certainly made it at home. It's a favourite at home, and everyone loves the breadcrumbs. And I sometimes find there's never quite enough breadcrumbs with it. So I'm going to make sure we've got plenty of breadcrumbs. Crumple it all up, in it goes. It's still actually quite moist here. So this is probably not going to be exactly how we want it. But inshallah. absolutely spot on. So plenty of breadcrumbs. There we go. Awesome. Ready to go. Okay, so now we've got the breadcrumbs ready. What we need to do is fry these breadcrumbs in butter. Now, I'm going to be adding a little bit of stuff to give it my own little twist and see how it goes. I've never tried it before. I've done it the conventional way, but I like to add my own things, my own little twist to things and see how it goes. So, and that's the fun thing about cooking. You know, you can explore a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it and just do something totally crazy and then it's disgusting and no one wants to eat it. That's a waste. But, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. Try it, experiment. You might come up with something just totally new and amazing, and improve something. And it becomes a big favorite. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so our cauliflower is pretty much ready. Oh, it's overcooked. I hate that. I hate that. It's overcooked. That's your fault, bro. So there we go. Coriander, cauliflower. If you're really thrifty, you can save this water and use it for something like a soup or a stock or a... I'm just going to pour it in the drain. Right. Out it goes. It can stay in here, not that. Now this is going to go... That's got to go the other way around, so that's way overcooked for me. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. That's fine. So there's the cauliflower. And now we've got to do the breadcrumbs. This is where the magic happens. Heat our leftover fat, butter, chicken fat. In it goes. There we go. Good healthy amount. Probably not very healthy. Now I'm gonna add my own stuff now. I swear this is not in my mum's recipe. Gonna add a bit of pepper, a bit of white pepper. I don't even know what white pepper. It's gonna taste like. That's it. And find some. Where are you? Oh yes. Cayenne pepper. Oh yeah. Give it a bite. Oh yes, in you go. Go on. Get in there. And if there's any garlic powder. No. That'll do. So I'm going to mix this all up. And it's my own little version. There we go. I think we just wait till it's really yeah, see it bubbling like that? So in it goes. Being interrupted. There we go. Huge amount of breadcrumbs. Now, someone may ask, a particular person may ask, why so many breadcrumbs? Because whenever I make it, everyone complains there's not enough breadcrumbs and they love the breadcrumbs. So I've made it with lots of breadcrumbs. So there it is, cauliflower with breadcrumbs and... Oh yeah, that worked. Dwayne, what are you doing, dude? Ripping it apart and making a mess like that.
I didn't know. It wasn't.
Honestly, for God's sake.
It wasn't coming off over.
Can I do it for you?
Dude, here, out of the way. There you go.
Nice one.
I want
Here.
some brown meat.
I know, here.
There's a leg there.
There it is,
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is.
Good, that's fine, thank you.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're a white or brown man. And I don't mean that skin colour.
I don't know.
And you better have some of this
What do you want,
vegetables.
breast
very good
and
food.
wing or leg and thigh?
You can put that wing on your plate, not on my table, on my tablecloth.
One of the things the Prophet ﷺ taught us is the importance of honouring your guests. So the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever believes in Allah and the last day should honour their guest. So honouring the guest is really giving them exceptionally kind treatment, and that is due for really a day and a night. And then after that, for 2 days you host them, meaning, you allow them to stay if they need be and you feed them. And then after that is charity. So when you have a guest for a short period of time, then that is a time for that short period, initial period, when you should really treat them in a very, very special way. You should make them feel very, very special. Make them feel at home.